Greetings, everyone. So before we begin, I want to admit that I'm very nervous. I'm not really used to this public speaking thing, but I'll do my best. Before we begin, I want to make you a promise. With my talk, I promise you to, first, I'll try my best to inspire you by sharing my story. And second, I will show you how you can start doing inspiring things yourself, so you can be on your journey. So that's what I'll be doing today. And there's probably a question in everyone's mind is, why should I listen to you? Like, you guys don't really know me. So let me introduce myself. My name is Martas. I'm 23 years old. And in the last 48 months, I've started 5 successful businesses. And it's a shocking number that you're about to see, but I found that out basically yesterday when I was making these presentations. So over the past 4 years, while doing these 5 businesses, I've made over a million euros, and it's true. So with my first business that I started as a videographer, I made this amount. This was my first ever business that I ever started. My second one was Geltonok, which I turned from normal pictures to like Simpson characters. This was a very successful online shop that I did. My third one is I became a social media influencer, and I grew a following on YouTube at almost 100,000 now. On TikTok, this amount of numbers. On Instagram, 43,000. And I grew a total following of over 200,000 people, which is crazy. And I've made over 100,000 euros while being a social media influencer, while doing ads, integrations with other businesses and stuff. Then I launched my physical product store, Sifi, and I made it over like 50,000 euros. And my most successful business yet that I've made, and it's the longest one that I've been running, is a Q Fotografia, which accounted over like a €500,000, which is crazy. This business literally changed my life, and it's the most recent one. I'm still doing it today, and I've been doing it for the past 3 years. I have a team of 14 people, and I'm very grateful to be doing it. So that's over €1 million in revenue, not profit. I don't have it in my bank account now. I had a lot of taxes to pay. And I'm showing you this as proof, as what I'm about to talk about today actually works. So you can be on your journey too, to achieve similar dreams or aspirations yourself. But let's go back a little, because it wasn't always like this. I didn't come from a family where we were rich. My parents weren't any business entrepreneurs. They weren't very super smart with money. My mom got divorced with my dad pretty early in my childhood, and my mom had to grow me and my brother alone. So it was a pretty tough childhood for her. And I couldn't say for us, I was happy. I had a mom, I had a brother, but we were very good financially. I always remember that I always was in short of money. I always wanted to have my own computer so I can play video games on it, but I never got the computer. The only thing how I got money was I went to school, and every month I got like 15 euros to buy food. But why buy food when you can starve and save that money so that over like 4 years you have like 1,000 euros and then you can buy a computer? So that's what I did. After like 4 years, I've been able to afford my own computer, and I just starved. It was pretty good. I was always the curious kid in the class. I used to always ask questions. I very liked how this whole presentation got introduced. You have to be curious. You have to ask questions. You have to take what's there. You have to like be curious about it. And I was always a curious kid. And I remember this lesson in math that I took, and we were learning about Pythagoras theorem. Probably everyone's heard of it. And I was like, I remember this vividly. I remember sitting in the class, and I was like, teacher, why do I need this in life? I asked this question, and teacher laughed, and she said, Marty, when you're outside in the world and you see a triangle, you can count the edge of the triangle. That was the answer. I was like, really? It's not a good answer, is it? So I always do question things, and for the answers that didn't seem logical to me, I didn't really learn that stuff. And as I grew older, like 10 years old, I really started getting into video games. Minecraft. I loved it. I loved playing video games. I loved watching YouTube videos about it. And what really caught my interest while watching those YouTube videos was video editing. Like, how did they make those videos? How did they make the intro? Where did they find the music? How did they stitch it together? Then there's gameplay, then there's subtitles, and all of this stuff. I don't know why, but it caught my interest. And I made a move that changed my life. I was 10 years old. I opened YouTube, and I wrote how to edit video. Broken English here, but it doesn't matter. I wrote it, and YouTube gave me some videos, like, here's how you can edit a video. So I watched some tutorials, and I started learning how to video edit when I was 10 years old. And this is my first video I ever uploaded to YouTube. You can see it was 13 years ago, It was Martas Stankevich's, my channel, and I'm 23 now. So I was 10 years old. And I don't even need to play the video because it consists only of 3 frames. So this is the first frame. This was my nickname of my YouTube channel. I present to you. Well, there you go, present in the middle, good design. And then free tutorials. I watched a lot of tutorials on YouTube. I thought I'm going to make my own tutorials. This is a friend of mine who said, like, I'm a failure because I write tutorials instead of tutorials. But this was my first video. And I couldn't even say that I liked video editing. I was passionate about it. I wasn't even good at it. Like, look at the video. But I don't know why, but I kept going back to that editing thing. And 4 years later, I was still doing edits. I was playing video games. I edit my footage. I became way better at video editing after a lot of work. And over those 4 years and later, I could say that I kind of like editing. I kind of love editing. And that's how I found my passion. And what is interesting is that I wasn't born liking video editing. It's not like I just was born and like, oh, I like video editing. No. I found that something that got my interest, and I tried, and I improved, and I failed. I tried again and improved, and I failed again, and I climbed the staircase. It took me years. Year 1, a bunch of videos that don't look good. Year 2, some videos that are looking better. Year 3, and then after a lot of time, I could finally say that I love doing this. So I learned that in order to find a passion, you must try things. Because most people say, I don't know what I like. And I just usually reply, you just haven't tried enough. So that's when my first passion was born. And now let's talk about how I made my first money from my passion. I got a little smarter. I'm 13, 14 years old now, and I'm like, okay, I learned how to edit videos on YouTube for free. What if I write on YouTube how to earn money as a 14-year-old? I'm going to learn for free how to make money. I'm a genius. Okay, let's do that. So I typed that on YouTube, and I got a bunch of ways how to earn money. Walk someone's dog. Like, I'm not going to walk a dog. Watch someone's baby. Like, I'm not good with babies. No, look, clean someone's house. These ways just didn't really fit me. So I was like, okay, that didn't work. But then one day, I saw a video on Facebook. And there was a video from an event that I was in. It was a game conference event. This was me at the event. I took a picture with this headset. You can upload this picture to Facebook, then you can win the headset. I didn't win it. It's probably a scam. But it was like a video game conference event called Game On. And the video was where it was all of the events from the event stuck in one video, like 1 minute. And it was such an inspirational song. I see the pictures moving. I see the characters I saw while I was there. And it evoked me in a feeling I didn't quite understand, but I was like, that's such a cool video. I was so motivated by it. And the question popped in my mind, like, what if I could do this? Because I know how to edit. So what I decided from then, I decided to contact the owners who made the video. And I was like, that was such a cool video. Like, I know how to edit some video games. Could I maybe edit you a test video and see if you like it, and maybe I can start working with you? And then fast forward a few months later, they loved my test video, and I started working with them. And I was earning 50 euros per video. That was my first money, and you have no idea how happy I was. I was very excited. I'm finally making money. Because when I was a child, I used to want money, I have no money, and now I'm earning 50 euros. And I'm sitting on my computer, and I'm earning money. It was a surreal moment for me. And this is me sitting at their studio. It was a big moment for me. I'd even shared it on my Facebook because I was proud. And as I have money now, I thought, I can buy something. I can buy what I want. So what do you think is the first thing I bought? iPhone. Because everyone has an iPhone in school. It's an iPhone. It's different. You look different. You feel different. So I felt for the marketing, always wanted that phone. And what was interesting to me is that I got the iPhone, and the first day I got it, I was so happy. But then the day after that, I was just sitting back on my computer, editing videos, and playing video games with my friends, and I was like, interesting, I always wanted the iPhone for 3 years. Now that I got it, I don't really feel anything better. And that's how I learned that material things don't really conclude to long-term happiness. And I'm really glad that I learned that when I was like 16. So that's a good lesson to learn. And then the pattern continues. After learning how to edit, after I started earning from my passion, I thought, what if I learn how to film? Interesting. I became curious again, because while I was editing those videos with the business, they sent me footage. Someone recorded an event, and I had to edit them. But what if I was the person who was filming everyone? So that's what I did. I went onto YouTube. All right, how to use a camera, how to record stuff. I looked up a bunch of videos, bought the camera. This is me with the camera. And I went through the process again. I tried, I improved, then I failed again. I tried to record something, I failed to improve. I literally like recorded a cat outside my house. I recorded my mom. I recorded my car. I recorded everything. And I went through the process again, through the stairs. I worked until I got good at it. And then, fast forward like 6 months later, I have my first business, which was called Marta's Films. It was my videography business, and that's how I started it. And after like a year of doing it, I'm still in school, and now I'm making like 1,500 euros a month. I have my own clients, and crazy. I'm feeling rich now. I finally started to buy food at the school, because I used to always just starve, remember? But I still like bought only soups for 50 cents because I learned how to save money. So life was good. I'm feeling rich. I'm in school. I'm feeling very good. I have the iPhone. I have a keyboard that has that RGB lights on it. And then COVID hit. Oops, that sucks. All of my clients disappeared. All of the events, they're not happening anymore. I'm sitting at my home. There's not money to make. But then the pattern continues. I learned how to video edit. I learned how to work with clients. I learned how to use and record with a professional camera. What if I insert blank? You can literally insert whatever your interest is. And my interest there was like, what if I learned how to make an online store? Because I always saw some YouTube videos about people like how to make an online store in 2023, how to make a blah, blah, blah. I was like, interesting, I don't have any clients, I have a lot of time. So what if I learned how to make an online store? That's what I did. Watch some YouTube videos. And the pattern continues. I tried to build my website myself. I failed. I tried again. I failed. It doesn't look good. Now it looks better. I went through this process again. I worked. I got good at it. I made a good website. I installed a bunch of stuff. I found some people from Fiverr where they can like draw the Simpson characters for me. And one year, I'm literally making 3,000 euros of profit a month from my Giltonok business. It wasn't so easy, definitely, but like 1 year after, I made the process. I did not give up. And then what is crazy that the pattern is the same for everything I did. It was like curiosity. I was like, what if I do this? And then I acted on it, and then discipline kept me through. It's the same with my YouTube channel. I have a large following on there, and I have a lot of videos. And once, when I was like 13, 14, I was always watching those YouTubers, and I thought, what if I someday become a YouTuber? But I always said like, oh, I'm 13, like no one's gonna watch me, like I'm a kid, like what am I gonna talk about? Like when I grow older, maybe I'm gonna try. And then when COVID hit, I started the Giltonok thing. It was the same with YouTube. Like what if I become a YouTuber now? I know how to film, I know how to edit, and that's how I started. It was based on curiosity and acted on was disciplined through it. And that's how I started my YouTube channel. It's the same with my SIFE, it's my physical store business. I always want like, I have an online store when I'm selling like digital products, but what if I have like a physical store? So I found a lot of products from China, basically shipped them to Lithuania, took a bunch of cool photos, made the website and make them more expensive. And that's how I started my physical store. And it's the same with my most successful business yet, Q Fotografia. I was in Berlin, Germany, and I was traveling with my girlfriend. I did not sit and like thought, what could be the best business now I'm gonna make in Lithuania? Like, no, I was just traveling and I noticed things. I became curious, I just trusted my gut feeling. And when we were walking like an art museum, there's a lot of cool stuff happening, a lot of shirts, a lot of stuff. And I see this tent where people are taking pictures of ice. I was like, holy, damn, that's so cool. What if we make something like this in Lithuania? And then from that question, I come back. Since I knew how to learn with cameras, I started doing it. And that's how I started my business, Q Fotografia. It's the most successful business yet. And because of the brave decisions I made, because of the trusting my own gut feeling and acting on my curiosity and being disciplined through it, I have the life I have right now. And I can do my favorite hobbies, my passions. I love video recording. I bought a drone. I was really into that. I found the love of my life, Camila, and we've been together for 5 years now. We moved in together, we got a cat, and we started to travel a lot and seeing places that I never thought that we would see. This is Thailand, Bangkok. My parents were very, very scared when they left on this journey. And this is a cool photo that I did with my Giltonok business. You see there's a lot of hobbies here you can see too, like see the drones, you can see the cars. I bought like drift cars, I bought BMWs because I always wanted to see books because I always read, I always been through with the knowledge. That's a cool photo. But it wasn't as easy as it seemed to be because it looks like a dream, like, oh, so easy, you just started and everything happened. It was hard, it was very hard. I had to make some choices that were not so cool. I had to give up going out with friends. I had to give up going out to the club. I had to give up my whole student life. I didn't really have a student life. I dropped out. And I had very tough financial situations, very tough emotional situations. hours of sitting in the room by myself, learning and looking at the computer, not knowing where I'm going to be or where it's going to take me. But I'm here when I'm at, and I don't regret any single bit of it. And now I want to share some actionable lessons with you that you can take from this talk so you can be on your journey to do inspiring things yourself. So, the first one, your environment. You probably heard of this quote, you're the sum amount of 5 people you hang around with, or like, show me your friends and I'll show you your future. And that is very true, I'm sorry to say that. But what was interesting for me is that I didn't really have friends at school that inspired me. Like, they were doing things I want to do. Like, we weren't really like on a journey together. I was always like a solo, like a lone wolf, I called myself. And what was interesting is my friends, you could say that's a bit sad, but I could say it's a bit smart. My friends were my like online friends. They weren't really my friends. I thought they were my friends. It's the people I followed and listened on the internet. Names like Gary Vee, Peter McKinnon, Casey Neistat, a lot of filmmakers, business entrepreneurs, Simon Sinek. These people inspired me. These people shaped my mindset. And I started to act on the lessons I learned from them. And it's crazy how you can change your environment even when you're at home. Like, what are you doing on that phone? Like, who are you listening to? Is it always memes or something like that? So it's literally not a mistake. I put this lesson as number 1. It's the fastest way to change your life is to change your environment. This is the lesson number 1. Lesson number 2, what you say is what you create. My mom said this, I really liked it. And it's very true. Manifestation, everyone's heard of it. And I want to tell you a story. I was at my uncle's birthday, and we were sitting at outside, eating food, a lot of family members, having a great time. And there was my aunt sitting there talking with my father. And she was talking about doing something and not doing something, like a normal conversation. And then she said those words that stuck for me ever since. She said, if you want, you can. In Lithuanian, jei nori, tai gali. That's what she said. And I was like, oh, interesting. I don't know what, from that birthday, that's the only thing I remember. Like, if you want, you can. I was like, really? Is that simple? Like, you just have to want it? And when you think about it, it is that simple. If you want it enough and you're willing to put in the work, you can have it. And it's very important for you to believe in yourself, for you to believe in your own words, and for you to believe on what you say to yourself. Because, fun fact, there's research done about with this research. People who think they're lucky are like 50% more lucky. How crazy is that? You only have to think that you're lucky. And what's smart is that when I search for like people to work with, I always, in my forms, put a question. Do you think you're lucky? And when people say no, I usually just skip the form, like, sorry, I'm wishing you to find your luck. But like, people who think they're lucky are literally more lucky. So it's very important for you to believe in yourself and for you to say good things to yourself. Because imagine what you're doing to yourself if you don't believe in yourself. And another fun fact, you just being near a high performer increases your productivity and everything, like 15%. You're just sitting near a high performer, a person who just kills, is very good at it. But you sitting near a low performer, a person who's lazy, scrolls on the phone, decreases your performance by like 40%. There's research done over that too. But imagine if your friends are all like low performance and they're just going to drag you down. So it's very important where you are and what's your environment. That's why I made the lesson number 1. And the third one is discipline. Everyone's heard of this word. It's not cool. It's hard. That's the thing. And I'll show you this photo. How to be happy. Sign up for something hard and finish it. That's the truth, guys. It's what discipline is. We are happy when we do things that challenges us. We feel proud of ourselves when we finish something hard. We have stories that we can share. We feel proud of ourselves that we weren't lazy when we did it. And it is hard. That's the point. If it was not hard, we wouldn't do it. And we wouldn't feel that amazing feeling that we have when we finish something that's hard. And for me, it was video editing. I signed up for video editing, and it was hard. I did not like the process. But after 4 years, I was like, oh, I'm pretty good at it. So that's the thing with discipline. And my last lesson is, you can only lose if you stop. Literally. So don't stop. It's a simple lesson. Now let's see if I delivered on my promise with my talk. So the first one is I told you that I'm going to inspire you. And what I shared, everything, I hope I did my best to inspire you, because everything that I shared is real. And the second, I said I show you how. And I gave you some actionable tips on how you can start your own journey. And I have one more ask to make. Recently, I became curious. Again, you see the pattern continues. I became curious of like maybe starting my own newsletter. So if what you found for me was valuable, you can subscribe to my newsletter here. I'm going to be starting it and see how things are. Thank you everyone for listening to my talk, and I hope you do what inspires you. Kaip pakalbėjau.
So he's a climate and environment.